Good afternoon. Any moment can change your life. We've all had them, gone through some pivotal moments. And I want to share some of those with you as a life-changing experience. I nearly drowned in this pool when I was 5 years old. My dad pulled me out. I was having an asthma attack. He brought me to Dr. Kaplan's office. Dr. Kaplan stabilized me and looked at me and said, Dr. Rubin, you have asthma. Now remember, I'm 5 years old, right? I'm 5 years old. Dr. Rubin, you have asthma. And I remember him saying that to me and saying to myself, I didn't hear the asthma thing, I heard the Dr. Rubin thing. And I said to myself, like, he just called me Dr. Rubin. Now, my parents come from very modest means. Neither one of them graduated from college. Both of them had very kind of minimal backgrounds in terms of education. So I never even thought about like me actually becoming a doctor. Like that wasn't even in the construct. But Dr. Kaplan said, Dr. Rubin. And then I said to him, so how did I catch asthma? Because I think, just like asthma is like kind of like a cold, or a flu. Or how did you catch asthma? And he said, oh, you don't catch asthma. You just kind of get it. It's like your parents kind of have some allergies and stuff, so you just kind of get it. It's in your genes or something. And I said, where was it before? And Dr. Kaplan said, this is why you can be Dr. Rubin. Fast forward a few more years. So my friend Jimmy is a travel hockey player. I'm from Long Island, there's a lot of hockey there. And he says, Drew, I got a couple of big games coming up. I need you to put on the pads, goalie pads that I have, and I'm going to shoot some pucks with you. And I'm like, no, I'm not an athlete. I never even touched a hockey stick before. I don't do that. You are a very good hockey player. That's dangerous. No, thank you. And he said, come on, Drew, you have to help me, please. I got this big game. I got to practice. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll put on the pads. So I put on all the goalie pads. And he started taking shots on me. And I was making save after save after save after save. He's like, you're a natural athlete. Now, I want you to understand, I was a really skinny, short kid. My mom smoked during the pregnancy with me and was continuing to smoke during that time. So I was this short, little, non-athletic kid, and he's saying to me, you're a natural athlete. I was like, really? Like I could actually, because once again, it wasn't in my construct to actually be an athlete. I just thought I was this small, little, runty kid. But he's saying I could actually be an athlete. So I started playing hockey because of him, and I played for the next 40 years. So I want you to think about this. There are some unbelievable pivotal moments that have happened in all of our lives. And what I want you guys to do right now is take out some of the paper that you got from the ICPA, things, or the Life West stuff, or take out your tablets or your phones, whatever. And I want you to take a moment and just write down some of these pivotal moments that happened to you when you were a kid. Because I want you to think about, like, Dr. Kaplan set my life in a different direction just by his words, right? Jimmy set my life in a different direction just by his words. So you may have had other people in your lives who changed the direction of your life just by a simple word or a phrase or an action that they did. Fast forward a few more years. 10th grade AP History. Dr. Fleischacker says at the end of class, first class, It was the last period, first class. And at the end of class, he says, Rubin, you stay behind. Everybody else is walking away, right? Walking out of the room. They're going, ooh, Drew, you're in trouble, right? And I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm this like silent wallflower kid. I don't make any trouble. I don't make any waves. I just sit in the back. And he's saying, Rubin, you stay after class and talk to me. I'm like, oh, man. So I go up to Dr. Fleischacker at the end. We're only just me and him in the room. I said, Dr. Fleischacker, I'm sorry for whatever I did. I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry. I don't know what. He said, no, Drew, it's not that at all. It's not that. He said, Drew, I want you to join the debate and speech team in our high school, Lynbrook High School. And I'm like, no. Being on stage, public speaking, I don't do that. That's not me. I'm very shy, very quiet. You've got the wrong person. He said, Drew, I really think you should do this. I think it would be really good for you. I'm like, I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. And I appreciate the compliment, but no. And he said, let me just explain it to you this way. If you don't join the debate and speech team, I will fail you for this class. I said, wait, you can't do that. And he said, watch me. So I joined the debate and speech team. And he saw something in me that I did not see in myself. Are you seeing a theme here? Right? How many of us are like this, where other people see things in us that we don't see? Dr. Fleischacker saw in me, he said, Drew, I think you've got the talent for being on the stage. He trained me and trained me and trained me. By the time I was a senior in high school, I was number 4 in the state of New York. But that's not the point. The point is, I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for Dr. Fleischacker. I wouldn't be teaching for the ICPA if it wasn't for Dr. Fleischacker. I wouldn't be teaching at Life University if it wasn't for Dr. Fleischacker. So thank you, Dr. Fleischacker, for training me and believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. And now, with those papers that you got out, next thing I want you to write, was there somebody in like high school or early college who did the same thing like Dr. Fleischacker did for me? They inspired you to do something that you didn't think you can do. They believed in you when you didn't believe in you. Was it a coach or a parent or a teacher or a friend or a mentor? Write that person's name down and just 1 or 2 words, how they got you inspired, because you can go back to these things later. These are pivotal times, pivotal things that happened. SUNY Albany. Anybody graduate from SUNY Albany? All right, Dutch Quad. Right? So this is Dutch Quad. This is one of the dorms. It's 1981. My parents are dropping me off at Dutch Quad at SUNY Albany. I got all the suitcases and other stuff like on the sidewalk, about to drag everything into the dorm. My dad turns to me, and I think my dad is going to say to me something like, son, I'm so proud of you. You know, you've really impressed. That's what I'm thinking he's going to say. He says, come home. Now, I'm from Long Island. That's a 4.5-hour drive. He says, come home. Don't go to college. I will get you a job at Emory Worldwide, the air freight company. I will buy you a car. And if you want to do this college thing, you can go to Nassau Community College. Because he couldn't believe it for himself. But Dr. Kaplan said I could be Dr. Rubin. Jimmy said I could be a hockey player. Dr. Fleischacker said, you can do this on the stage. You got that kind of talent. They gave me the germ of a belief in myself. So I turned to my dad. I said, I love you, Dad. I have to go. It's my time. It's my time to go. My time to break free. I have something bigger to do. I didn't know what at the time. I was just 18 years old. I didn't know what time, but I said, I got something bigger to do, so I have to go. Pivotal moment in my life, because that was a decision I made. Said, I am going against my own parents' wishes. 1984, fast forward a few more years. It's the summer of 1984. My mom had started going to a chiropractor for guess what? Back pain. A couple of months before I came home for summer break. And she did amazingly well. So I come home and she says, you got to come see my chiropractor. And I said, Ma, I don't need no chiropractor. I don't have arthritis. I'm not old like you, right? So I don't need that kind of stuff. And she says, no. He says he can help your asthma. I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah, okay, Ma, sure he can. And she said, just please go. Just listen to me. Listen to your mother, like for once, right? I'm an only child, so that was a common statement in my house. And I said, okay, fine, I'll go. This chiropractor said to me some profound and pivotal things. He said, so Drew, how long you had this asthma thing? I said, about 15 years. He says, getting any better? No. What are you doing about it? Well, I puff on an inhaler 6 times a day. Matter of fact, in my hockey gear, I would put the inhaler right here in my hockey pants. And I take all these other pills, and I get allergy shots once a week. And he said, how's that going for you? Good? No, not really. I'm actually getting sicker now. Now every winter I'm getting bronchitis. So my health is not great. He says, so where do you think you're going to be? Like if you're like this now and you're like 20 years old, where are you going to be at 40? Right? Nobody asked me a question like that before. I was like, that's a good question. I don't know. And he said, so do you want to do something different? You want a different result? I said, yeah. He said, well, if you want something different, guess what you got to do? Something different. And he said, chiropractic is that something different. Okay, I'm game. All right, I'll try this. I'll try it out. Let's see how it goes, right? By the end of the summer, I'm about to go back to SUNY Albany. Guess what I say to this doctor? You know, I hardly use my inhaler all summer long. How do you become a chiropractor? So I went back to Albany for my senior year, and I sit down with the advisor. One of the first things I do when I get up there, after I unpack the stuff, is sit down with the advisor, and I say, Mr. Advisor, I'm going to change my major from pre-med to pre-chiropractic. Guess what he said to me? Right? Did he say, great career choice? That was a grand move on your part. No. He said, and I quote, are you out of your mind? He said, you're going to throw away your life for this ridiculous fake doctor thing? He said, don't do it. It'll be the biggest mistake of your life. Pivotal moment. Change my major anyway. Change my major anyway. He's like, you're making a big mistake. I said, I don't care. Change my major anyway. And he did. Because the thing is that chiropractic gave me something bigger to believe in than myself. Right? By seeing, medicine had not worked for me for 15 years. Chiropractic worked in 3 months. I was not going to devote my life to something that didn't work the way chiropractic worked for me in 3 months. So now, take out your paper again and write down the obstacles that you had to face to become a chiropractor. Because we all face some obstacles, right? Let's all be real about that. Nobody has 100% acceptance of going to a chiropractic school, right? My grandma, I called her up after this moment, and I said, hey, Grandma, guess what? I decided to, instead of becoming a medical doctor, I'm going to be a chiropractor. Guess what she did? She hung up the phone. And she would not pick up my phone calls until I graduated from life. 4 years, She would not pick up the phone. And I would talk to my dad and say, why won't Grandma talk to me? Oh, she just doesn't get it. She just thinks she wanted you to be a real doctor. She wanted to brag that one of her grandkids was a real doctor and not this chiropractic thing. That's the obstacles. I want you to write down what obstacles. Was it from family? Was it from friends? Was it from other people, other teachers? Write down the obstacles you had to face to become a chiropractor. This is one of my favorite pictures. Look at my beautiful wife and I. 1990, all right, so I graduated from life. This is 1990. My beautiful wife and I, she was not my wife at that time, she was my girlfriend. But she was going to be my wife. I was making sure she was going to be my wife. We're about to have an open house, right, in my new office. And this is when I was in New Jersey before I moved down to Atlanta. And I want you to notice the decor. The couch was my aunt and uncle's. The lamps were my parents'. The little bookcase was my parents'. And that little crochet thing was on my parents' apartment house wall in their living room, and I just pulled it down and said, this would go good in my office. We were so naive. We didn't know, right? We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. And to be completely honest, the first 3 years of practice from 1990 to 1993 were a lot harder than I thought they were going to be. And the people part was easy, right? The adjusting part was easy. It was the business part. That was really, because everyone was saying to me, Drew, you are nuts. You got $250,000 in debt. You have never been in business before. You're the first person in your entire family to become a doctor. You know nothing about this kind of stuff. You've never run a business before. You haven't even worked in a chiropractor's office before. How is this? You're just deluding yourself. But I had a dream. I said, I want to take care of people the way I was taken care of, right? Because I was given this amazing gift by my first chiropractor, and I wanted to pay it forward. But everybody doubted us and doubted us and doubted us. And I'll tell you, after 3 years, it was really hard. You know, my parents came from very modest means, and they couldn't support me in any way except for loving me, which I appreciated. But it was really hard because I couldn't, the business hand, you know, Dr. Sid talks about this, the business hand, right, and the personal hand, I couldn't figure them out. So my beautiful wife, in June of 1993, thank you, my love, my beautiful wife said to me, we should go to DE one more time. We should go to DE one more time. Tenth row DE, July 1993. 2,000 people in the room. 2,000. I'm 10th row, right about there. Dr. Sid's doing his Thursday afternoon thing. For those of you who know anything about Dr. Sid, his Thursday afternoon speech was 4 hours nonstop. Yes, Josh? 4 hours nonstop. He turned like this in the middle of his talk, and he looked right at me like this, and he pointed his finger, and he said, you can build the castle of your dreams on top of the garbage. You can build the castle of your dreams on top of the garbage. And I will never talk about pivotal moment. I was like, shh. Because in my brain, I have this poverty consciousness, right? I grew up in poverty. I knew nothing about making any kind of money. Who am I? I don't deserve all this kind of yap, 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 you know, the monkey on your shoulder kind of thing. He's saying, I can build the castle of my dreams on top of the garbage. I sat there for a couple of minutes going, I can build the castle of the dreams on top of the garbage. I can build it on all this mess. Oh my God. So I went home a different person. And my beautiful wife and I, we had done the Bergenfield sidewalk sale. It's in New Jersey. And 1990, 1991, 1992. We got a couple new patients each time. It was nice. It was good. July 1993, 1 week after this DE, 63 new patients. Holy cow, right? The practice took on a totally different meaning because Dr. Sid reminded me of the philosophy. He reminded me of do what you're trained to do. Do what you're trained to do. Bring me your most difficult cases, was another one of Dr. Sid's favorite sayings. Bring me your most difficult cases. I accept all people, regardless of condition or financial ability to pay. These were the kind of sayings that he threw at us, and I heard it, and I took it on. And it changed everything. He reminded me of my why. Dr. Sid reminded me of my why. What's your why? Write that down. Next thing to write down, what's your why? The difference between the dream is your what. The dream is like a thing. Your why is your purpose. The why is right here. Right? What's your purpose? He reminded me that I have a bigger purpose. That the purpose wasn't to be like, to do all the things the right way and to say all the right things and have the business acumen. It was just to give, love, and serve out of my own abundance with no expectation of return. Wow. Wow. Like his words still, this was 1993, so it's like 30-something years later, and they're still in my head. They bore into my head that July, and they've stayed there ever since. What's your why? What's your purpose? Then comes Dr. Webster. Wow. Whew, I'm getting emotional. This is such a walk through history here. Then comes Dr. Webster. He's adjusting my son here. This is my son Palmer at 1 month old. He came up to New Jersey, Council of New Jersey Chiropractors, in 1995 to do a pediatric seminar for us when I was still in New Jersey. He's adjusting my son like this. He lets go of my son's atlas, and he looks at me, and he says, Drew, you need to study pediatrics. You need to study pediatrics. And I don't just mean like start getting little dibble dabs into it. I mean sink into it. You need to dive into pediatrics, especially autism. Especially autism. I've done a recent study, he told me. We had 17 patients that were on the spectrum, and 15 of them got amazingly great results. We need more chiropractors out there taking care of kids with autism. You should be one of them. A lot of times people say stuff to you and you don't listen. And this was directly said to me. This wasn't said like Dr. Sid to an audience. This was directly said to me. I listened. It was like Yoda going shh, like this. The mind meld, shh, right? He mind melded me. And all of a sudden, I became a magnet for children. It was like someone turned on this attractor thing and shh, we just started sucking children into my practice more and more and more and more. And then, year 2000. By this time, I had become very proficient at taking care of kiddos. My practice was mostly kiddos in New Jersey. And we had spoken at New Beginnings about this, and I was invited to go to Life University to teach some of the pediatric clubs down there. So I went down a couple of times. Well, both times I went down to Life University, because I remember I was in Jersey at the time, Dr. Bob Rubin, who was an administrator and faculty member at Life during those years, had heard me talk. All of a sudden, it's the year 2000, and I just want you to imagine this. It's Friday night, just like tonight, Friday night around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I have the waiting room is packed with people. Kids are running all over the place. The phone rings. My CA answers it, and she says, Dr. Rubin, it's for you. And I just walked out of one room, and I was like, tell him I'll call back. I'm kind of busy now. And she said, Dr. Rubin, it's from Life University. I think you should take this. I'm like, Life University? Why are they calling me on Friday night? So I pick up the phone. I want you to remember this. This is 2000, right? We had those cords for the phones, remember, like this? So I take the phone from my CA and I pull it as far as I can like this, but I'm still looking at the sea of people in my waiting room. And I said, hi, it's Dr. Rubin. And Dr. Sanders on the other line says, hi, it's Dr. Sanders. I said, hi. And he said, I'm from Life University. I said, nice to talk to you. How can I help you? And he said, Dr. Bob Rabin heard you talk at Life University a couple times, and he says, you're the pediatric person we want to teach my class at Life University because I'm retiring. Are you in? Friday night, right, my wife is not with me. I'm like, can I talk to my wife and call you back on Monday? He said, sure, talk to me on Monday. The door knocked. Yeah, you guys get that? The door knocked. Here's what I want to tell you now. The door is knocking right now. You may not be able to hear it, but I hear it. Who's knocking at the door? Who's knocking right now? Not me. Who's knocking? I know. This is like a ventriloquist trick. It's not a trick question. Who's knocking? It's the kids. The kids are sicker than ever before. They're knocking on our doors. They're knocking on our doors. Are we ready to answer the knock? Are we there at the door opening that up, letting the flood of all these kids in to take that we can take care of? Are you ready to answer this call? Because we are the answer they've been looking for. We are the answer they've been looking for. We now, you know what our job is now? Our job now is to make pivotal moments for them. For them. 2 kids on the spectrum, they get it so much. When they come in, before I adjust them, they adjust each other. They get it. They get it. We are creating pivotal moments. We are changing these kids' lives. Kids who are, as Dr. Berger and Dr. Amy this morning were talking about dysregulated, we had some super dysregulated kids that now get it because of chiropractic care. Are you ready to be someone's Larry Webster? Are you ready? Are you ready to be someone's Larry Webster the way he talked to me and changed everything, shifted everything? And the thing that Larry implored with me when he discussed this with me is he said, you have to study it. And where best to study it than right here? ICPA. The ICPA docs, we are the best in the world for this. And we've got some amazing people in this room. Dr. Martin Rosen, Dr. Monica Berger, Dr. Amy Spolstra. We got some amazing people in this room that you can all learn from. Because these kids need us. Because let me ask you a question. If we don't do it, who's going to? Right? Who's going to? There's nobody else out there who does what we do, who can connect these disconnected kids. We are the answer. We are the answer. But the door is knocking. Are you going to answer the door? Or are you going to say, I'll get it later. I'm busy. I don't have time right now. I'm not ready. I'm telling you, get certified. Take all the classes if you can and get certified. It makes a difference because it's not about what it does for you. It's about what it does for them. Thank you. Is what it does for them. Is how that certification and the diplomate later on changed me so much that now I have authority with these kids. And I don't mean authority like I'll tell you what to do and you just listen. That's not the authority I'm talking about. I'm talking about speaking with authority. Another thing that Dr. Sages say. I speak with authority. When someone says, can we help this child on the spectrum who's autism level 3 and is smashing his head in like this every single day? Yes. Yes. We can help. Because I'm going to connect that disconnected brain and nerve system. We're going to start helping this kid get from dysregulated to regulated. We're going to help calm this nerve system down. We're going to see so many changes, but it's going to take time. Principle number 6. It's going to take time. But the door is knocking, and we do not have enough people out there who are taking care of these kids. I've talked to so many of you over the years, and so many of you are trepidatious about taking care of the really challenged children, and I'm asking all of you to step up. Step up. When I was a kid in the 1960s and 70s, autism rate was 1 in 10,000. Now autism rate is what? 1 in 31. Now hear this though. Autism is not bad. There's nothing broken about autism. Right? It's a different way of thinking, like Dr. Monica talked about. But a lot of these kids, even though they have a different way of thinking, they can't regulate themselves. So imagine if we can help these kids who have a different way of thinking to regulate themselves, now we have genius. Now we have genius. And that's what we're here for, guys. That's what we're here for, is to help turn on the power and reignite the flame in them so that they have focus, that they have calm, that they have future. We are their role models, right? The kids in our office are constantly playing chiropractor in my office, and the parents always go home, and I'm sure it happens with you guys too. And they're always going home, and they're adjusting their bears, and they're bringing their dolls in, and they're bringing their everything in, right? I love that. I love that because we're showing them the future, right? We're giving these guys the opportunity of a lifetime to. How many people love their job? Not many. We love it. Oh my God, I can't wait to see what's going to show up on Monday morning. Not many people say that. We are so lucky. And if we can gift this to other kids and show them how blessed this profession is, wow. Because man, do we need more, like Dr. Kevorkian was saying before, right? And Jack Burla, we need more people in chiropractic schools. And the time to do it is now when they're little like this. Not necessarily to wait till they're in high school or in college and then ask them. Just plant the seeds and plant the seeds and plant the seeds, and eventually some of these kids can become chiropractors. So the lessons, I want you to look at the lessons that you wrote, the things that you wrote down, the pivotal moments, the obstacles, etc. And I want you to meditate on it. And tonight or tomorrow or when you go home on the plane, I want you to look at these things. This is your life. Right? Like I just mapped out like my life for you. You just mapped out your life on your iPads or on your pages. That's amazing because what we need to do is we need to believe in ourselves. And we need to take the next step. And to me, the next step is become someone's Larry Webster. There might be someone in this hotel who needs to hear something from you. It might be one of you who needs to hear something from someone you're sitting next to. It might be a wait staff at one of the amazing restaurants that are around this hotel. It might be a flight attendant. And it might be one of the kids that you're taking care of. They need to hear from us. They need to hear from us to say, we believe in you. Because like we just had 3 kiddos from my practice who are all in high school, late year in high school, come to an SRE at Life University last weekend because they're so excited. They're so excited to want to do what I do. And one of them said, I want to be you, Dr. Rubin. I watch what you do, and I want to be you. And that to me is like the Larry Webster moment, right? That's the Larry Webster moment. And it doesn't get any better than that. So we have to help protect our future by adjusting more kiddos. Happy anniversary, ICPA. I love and appreciate all of you.